G'day and welcome to A Down Under Yarn. I'm your host Fiona, also known as Fifykins, and today we're going on a road trip. I've just said goodbye to the kids at school, now I'm on my way. This is Tully, that is a sugar mill, and if I pan around this way, you will see the golden gumboot. Yes, Tully has the big gumboot. And we have a cane train arriving at the sugar mill. So this is a cane train. We have plenty of them in far north Queensland. Tully is, I think, about 150 kilometres from Cairns. I'm making fairly good time. Next stop will be Cardwell. So I've made it to Cardwell. Cardwell is probably halfway between Cairns and Townsville, and is probably the town that is infamously known as the town that copped the brunt of Cyclone Yasi 4 years ago. Where I'm sitting at the moment is part of the reconstructive project, and I thought I'd do a bit of an update. So today I'm driving from Cairns, starting my drive from Cairns down to the Sunshine Coast. I have residential school next week, and driving is the most economical way for me to get there. So apart from a whole lot of other stuff, that's one of the reasons I'm doing it. But I thought along the way I would record segments for the podcast. So finished objects. I have a finished object. I have my Camp Loopy project. Hard to see, but hopefully that is coming up okay. This is the Elfie sweater. I'm sorry, I can't remember who it's by. I'm actually recording on my phone, so it's hard to tell. It is my third project for Camp Loopy. Now, Camp Loopy is the project run by the Loopy U, which is a yarn store in Colorado in the US. Every June, July and August, it's like a summer camp where you don't have to go anywhere. You knit 3 projects. So this year I've managed to knit the 3 projects. This was my third one. It was the most enjoyable knit. It really was. So I used a grey, which was part of the Loopy Solid series, and also a gradient set, which was part of the Loopy Hues collection. Now you can see down the bottom there, look, I knew it was going to happen because I knew I had to use almost every last skerrick of yarn. I had to join colours in between. I don't mind it. It's growing on me a lot. It has blocked really well. It was really curling when I first got it off the needles, but I have blocked it. I was going to wear it, but I thought I really don't want to wear it driving, but I've taken it with me so I can wear it to one of my classes. So that is my finished object. When I get in the car, at some stage, I will be able to do a review of the last couple of weeks. My iPad is charging. It hasn't been working very well. But I should be able to do that and have a bit more scenery. I've been trying to get a few shots along the way. I've got to be very careful because of course I can't touch my phone while I'm driving because of driving rules. So yeah, I needed a coffee, so I've stopped for a coffee. Really gorgeous coffee mug, takeaway coffee mug. This one has I suppose reeds around it. They had some in there that had the beachfront, but this was the next one in the pile, so this is it. So I'm making fairly good time. I'm happy with my progress so far. I've been stuck behind a few caravans. There's lots of caravans on the road. This is grey nomad season where a lot of people do come up here for this time of year. And a couple of timber trucks, which I wasn't expecting. And you would have seen in Tully the cane train. So it is cane season, and I'll be seeing cane, I think, a lot of the way down the coast. So until I check in next, bye. Okay, so I'm about 40 k's south of Townsville on my way to Ayr. Ayr is spelled A-Y-R, and I'm making okay time. It's about 1:14. I'm hoping you can see out the window, and you can see the vegetation has really changed here as to before. Townsville is part of the dry tropics area, and around here it's really showing how dry it is. It is dry season, so that would count for things as well. But yeah, so I'm on my way to res school. I think I mentioned that before. As part of my studies, because I'm a distance student, I have to attend residential school for 3 of my 4 subjects. And one of the subjects is a 2-day residential school. The other 2 subjects are 3-day residential schools. So I am due Saturday, Sunday. I have the first 2-day residential school, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I'll head home again. Originally, it's on the Sunshine Coast at the Noosa campus of Central Queensland University. They have residential schools at Cay, where I will be stopping off today, at Rockhampton and Bundaberg, where I will be travelling through probably tomorrow, and of course down at Noosa. I had hoped to do the Cay residential school, which I'd be doing at the moment. However, it clashed with Jasper's flute exam last Sunday, so he really wanted me there for his flute exam. I chose to do that. It means I'm away for Emmy's major exams next week. Now, she seems cool with that. I think she'll be okay with that. Anyway, it's the QCS test, which is the Queensland Core Skills Test. It's the test that all Year 12 students do if they want a university entrance rank. That's the main pathway to university entrance. So that's her big thing. The last couple of weeks have been interesting. Emmy and I went down to Melbourne for Melbourne University Open Day. That's where I got most of my knitting done, on my Elfie top. It was a fantastic travel knit, and it was fantastic for whilst I was down there, because it had enough variation in it that I needed to concentrate, but at the same time I could talk with people. So it wasn't mindless enough that there was no concentration and my mind could wander. There was enough concentration there that I could do it. Now, I'm not sure if you can see at the side there, it looks like there's been a fire through here recently. Ooh, that way. Sorry, there we go. Might just move it that way there. You don't need to see me anyway. So, went down to Melbourne for Melbourne Uni Open Day. And is it the postal truck? I'm not sure. Anyway, Melbourne Uni Open Day with Emmy. Stayed with my mum. We were down there for Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. So 3 nights down there, but it was one of those early morning trips, and then I think a 4 o'clock flight home. I had hoped to be able to book flights down to Brisbane to be able to go to Noosa Res School. However, at the time I couldn't, and then we've been waiting for some overtime from Mimmel. We've been waiting on that now for 6 weeks, and thought it was going to come in a fortnight ago, and it didn't come in at all. So then just passed another wallaby roadkill. Passed quite a bit of roadkill, and here comes another one. Wow, I wouldn't want to be driving through here at dusk. It looks like there's a lot of kangaroos and wallabies around here. Anyway, I thought, okay, so a fortnight ago when I then thought I'd be booking it, no, the overtime hadn't come through, which is why I didn't book it. So then I was waiting for yesterday, and only part of the overtime had come through. We decided on Monday though that it probably wouldn't be a bad idea, sorry about that, for me to drive down. A couple of things. One, it's the new car and it's drivable. And 2, I'm down there for 8 days, and it would be helpful if I did have a vehicle. So that's probably one of the main things as well. So it is going to be cheaper to be driving down. So far my fuel economy seems amazing. Usually I get about 600 kilometers to a tank. So far I've done 405 kilometers on this tank and it says I've got 424 to go. So if I can get 800 kilometers to a tank, it's about 1600 kilometers down there. There's 2 tanks down there, 2 tanks back. Yeah. I am staying there as a student who rents out a room in her house, so I'll be staying there. So that'll be good. Yeah, so studies have been going well. I have done 3 assessments, or 2.5 really. The 2 online assessments I've done one I got 100% in, the second one I think I got 96% or something. So pretty pleased with that. Then the anatomy and physiology subject, which is just biting my butt because there is so much to learn, and it's just a memorization subject. You know, I know how the heart functions basically, but to actually know the actual ins and outs of the enzymes and the things like that, that is really that is quite challenging to be learning it all. And the lecturer, even though it's external, has between 3 and 4 hours of lectures each week. So catching up with the lectures, doing the readings, it really is taking its toll. There was a multiple choice quiz out of 30, and even though it was open book and I had all my notes there, I got 25 out of 30 last night when I did it. And you get a second attempt. So I'll attempt that again and see the 5 that I didn't get right. I will see if you know, it's multiple choice, so usually there's 2 answers that both make a bit of sense. So I'll try the other answers, and it's the best of the 2 attempts. So if I do worse than 25, the 25 out of 30 will stand. So I'm pretty pleased with that. What else? Emmy's got exams coming up, Jasper's got stuff coming up, Mimmel's working really hard. He finished nights, he was on nights the week we went down to Melbourne. I think that's when I recorded out in front of the veggie patch, and the lighting was bad and the visiting dog came. Apparently the visiting dog visits everywhere now. I had a friend who lives around the corner who actually direct messaged me on Twitter and said, hey, do you know of any, we've got a dog that's turned up at our house, do you know whose it might be? And I said, well, next door's got a couple of dogs and there's one that's, you know, tan. She sent a photo. I said, yeah, that's Bliss. So I actually went round there with the girl from next door. So that was kind of funny. Apart from that, I don't think I've got a lot of other news. I haven't had a lot of knitting time in the last week. I will get to works in progress shortly. One stop. Hopefully I'm going to stop at the Big Mango at Bowen. I've actually never driven this road before. Here we are. You can probably see now the scenery has changed. We've hit some cane fields again. So just from coming through past those hills, you can now see more sugarcane. So I'll move that around that way, and hopefully you can see the sugarcane out the window there. So yeah, haven't had a lot of knitting time as I've been trying to catch up on readings and on lectures, and the anatomy and physiology lectures I have to take notes as I go along. I choose to do that. She gives very detailed lecture notes, but I choose to take notes from what she's saying, and then I can read the lecture notes as well and see if it makes sense, which at the moment it's not really, but everyone keeps saying it will make sense. So hey, it is what it is, and I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to res school. I've had quite a bit of anxiety this week about it, especially about driving down. It's a 1,600 kilometre trip. So yeah, Mackay's about halfway, and that's about 800 kilometres. I haven't booked accommodation or anything. I've got my sleeping bag and pillow, so I'll probably end up sleeping in the car. And I don't know if I'll get to, we're back to, looks like cattle over there. So back to a bit of pastoral area. Sorry, there we go. Oh, look, I'm gonna have to turn this off soon, I think, because it's just flopping around. So I wanted to get a bit past Mackay, which is about halfway, just so I'm not pressuring myself tomorrow. And especially because I haven't driven down this stretch of road before. I've driven to Townsville a few times, but, and then when I was a teenager, the family, we drove up to the Sunshine Coast. I was probably about 15. From Melbourne, so I've never been north of the Sunshine Coast. So it's interesting coming down this way and seeing the change in landscape, and hopefully I'll have bits and pieces to show people along the way. So I will probably leave it at this for the moment and be back a bit later. There you go, just as you're getting a shot of the sky. Okay, cheers. This is the Burdekin Bridge, and it looks, I'm just approaching it, and as I was thinking, I'm going, wow, and I thought, hey, let's pop the camera up there. I've just stopped for lunch at Air. I did go to McDonald's because the toilets were going to be clean, and they were, so that was the important thing. So yeah, this is the Burdekin Bridge we are now travelling over. The other thing I thought is people who aren't in, I suppose, Australia or the UK or South Africa or Japan, I'm not sure where else drives on the left-hand side of the road, might be getting a bit disoriented. I remember when Kimberlolly was podcasting and she was going on a road trip and she drove round a roundabout, and of course she goes round a roundabout anti-clockwise, whereas we go round a roundabout clockwise, and I was almost screaming at the screen going, oh my god, you're going the wrong way, because I didn't realise. So hey, we drive on the left-hand side of the road, which to us is the right side to drive on. You see what I did there? Anyway, I think we're almost over the bridge. That was a pretty cool bridge. There was a sign back there saying there's going to be some bridge works next week, so I'm going to miss all of those. So yeah, so that was the bridge. Another sugar factory on the left, which you can't see. More cane train carriages out towards the right. So there we go. There's a truck. I'm thinking down further I will come across some road trains, and I will hopefully try and grab some footage of some road trains for people, because they're pretty cool. Yeah, so I think that's about it. Just passed through Air, heading towards Home Hill and Bowen. This is all part of the Burdekin, and I think that's it for the moment. Cheerio. G'day, just me again. I'm probably about, I think, what did it say, 40 k's from Mackay. I've done almost 700 kilometres today so far. It is now 8 minutes past 5 in the evening, and as you can see, the shadows are getting longer, so the sun will be going down probably within the next hour. I'm at Cuttable Cay. I'm not actually sure how it's pronounced, but this is where I am. This seems to be like a little tiny town. I've been through the Whitsundays. I travelled, even though I'm travelling down the coast, I'm probably quite a few k's from the coast, so I didn't actually do the venture off down to Shute Harbour to have a look at the Whitsunday Islands. Yeah, not today anyway. So the interesting thing is that fuel here is the same price as in Cairns, so I'm hoping to fill up in Mackay. I'm still on my first tank of fuel, and my fuel light has only just come on. So there we go. I don't know if you could see, it was on that side, there was a cow, so I'm heading into cow country. There's still quite a bit of sugar cane. There's been quite a bit of I suppose gum trees, sort of bushy type things, and still quite a bit of roadkill. Now, one of the reasons I did want to just pop on is I have just discovered the Shiny Bees podcast. I listen to the Curious Handmaids podcast. I don't listen to a lot of audio podcasts, and Helen was talking about being nominated as Curious Handmaids for the UK Podcasting Awards, and she mentioned that another podcast had been nominated, and that was the Shiny Bees podcast. So I thought I might as well check it out, so I did, and it is a lot of fun. So if you are into audio podcasts, and especially someone with a Manchester accent who uses a lot of northern idioms, I suppose, northern phrases, go for it and check that one out, because it is a lot of fun. I've only just heard a couple of episodes. I've got a couple more podcasts I've been listening to. I downloaded them to my Stitcher before I left. So yeah, until we catch up again, I'll say cheerio, hooroo. So I have made it to Rockhampton. It is 9 o'clock at night and I've done over 1,000 Ks today. So yeah, I'm going to try and grab something to eat, find somewhere to bed down. Bit hairy over the last couple of hours. There were a whole lot of roos on the side of the road, so I found a big truck and sat behind it. Then saw a dead feral pig on the side of the road. The roos were all alive, and there was one huge one that looked, I could see its eyes. It was pretty scary. Anyway, I'll be back later, probably, or tomorrow or something. Bye. Okay, so I just recorded a segment, and obviously it cut out partway through. I've got no idea where it cut out, so hey, let's start again. Third time lucky. I did try and put this up on the dash, but the Bruce Highway is quite rough, so it was just rocking around too much, and I don't have a holder for my phone or anything, so I had it leaning against my purse and everything. So it's not the most flattering of looks, but sorry about that. It's now 11:30 and I hit the road this morning just before 8. I woke up a bit around 7ish and had a look around the campus, CQU campus at Rocky at least, Rockhampton, which is where I stayed the night. Pardon me, that is huge, bigger than James Cook University in Cairns even, so pretty big campus. It has a very large catchment area, and I found a car park that was lit enough that I felt safe, but had some tree coverage, so it was still a bit dark. Denied about where I was going to sleep, tried sleeping on the back seat, that wasn't working. In the end, just put this seat back, pushed it right back, laid it flat, well semi-flat, and slept there. I woke up a few times in the night, but it was all good. Luckily I had a sleeping bag I could throw over the top of me because it got a bit chilly. This morning woke up, went around campus, found some bathrooms near the student amenities, but of course the shower that was there was locked, and there was no one yet around that I could have asked for a key. I could have gone to other buildings, but I really just wanted to get on the road. So did that, drove through a number of little towns, and saw a sign that said that it had a big roadhouse with showers, and I thought, fantastic, I'll stop there and miss the turnoff. And I thought, oh, there'll be plenty more. And of course I came across some more. One was on the wrong side of the road, and there was another one. I missed the turn off to another one. It was well labelled 10 kilometres back, but then when you got there it wasn't labelled at all. Anyway, that was back around Calliope. So I decided that I would just push through, came to a town called Gin Gin. So how could I not stop at a place called Gin Gin? Went to a roadhouse there that had cabins out the back, and I thought likely to have showers because I was just, dying for a shower, and found the showers. They were locked, so went in, asked how much a shower was. They said $3. Best $3 I've ever spent. Just feel human again. I was able to wash my hair. It's partially drying now. I've got no product in it, so it's all whatever. I'm driving. I'm on a road trip. Of course, the vegetation has changed. We're well and truly out of the tropics. I suppose it's probably still the subtropics here. I could have gone into Bundaberg from Gin Gin. Bundaberg's probably about 50 kilometres to my east, which is that way to my left, but that is east because I'm travelling south. And could have gone there, but it was 50 kilometres from Gin Gin to Bundaberg, then 50 kilometres back to the highway, or 50 kilometres straight down the highway, and I decided to save the 50 kilometres. I'm not sure how much you can see outside. You can see the trees. It's quite forested as opposed to rainforest that we have up north, and you can see where fires have been through. Now fires are they're sort of welcome in that they regenerate the forest. So I can see around here they've had some fires. They don't look to be too recent, but you can see blackened tree trunks, but you can still then see the undergrowth is growing again. I am probably about 2 hours from Noosa now, two and a half hours at least, 2.5, 3 hours maybe, 250 Ks, so yeah, 2.5, 3 hours. I will be stopping up ahead probably at a place called Childers for lunch, and hopefully I'll be able to record a bit there. I had hoped to record back in Gin Gin, but the little rest station I found was full of grey nomads in their caravans and their thermoses, and I thought if I just stop and sit on the end of a table and start recording, they'd probably think I was a bit crazy, more crazy than I am. Anyway, so that's that. I'm making really good time. I need a coffee. I just had an iced coffee. I bought one in a bottle back at Gin. So we will see how we go. I'm actually following a car towing, or a truck, or a ute. Is it a ute? I think it's a ute towing a boat, but they're sitting on the speed limit, so I'm not too worried about that. Even though I have people overtaking me, hey, they can do what they like. So apart from that, I had hoped to show some knitting back yonder, as I said, but I will be showing that up ahead. It's interesting, you come to these little towns and it's interesting for me seeing how far apart they are and seeing the different character of these places and recognising tiny towns from news articles. So for instance, I can't remember the name of the town I came to this morning outside Rocky, and I thought I heard the name of it and thought I've heard of this town before, and then there was on the side just outside a memorial that someone had placed there, or some people had placed there. There had been a big road crash there, and I think, you know, a number of people had died. So there was that. I know I'm going to Childers, where they had a huge backpacker hostel fire, which would be years and years ago now, but it just sticks in your mind, the names of these towns. Childers is also a fruit picking town, so I'm hoping I can pick up some fruit. Of course, yesterday I kept coming across all these side stalls of fruit, and I thought, oh no, I won't get any now, and I wish I had, because I haven't seen any this morning, and I just really love some fruit. So it's beautiful landscape around here. It's totally different. It's not tropical anymore at all. I can still see the Great Dividing Range to my right, to the west. I've been following that all the way down because it starts up near me. So yeah, I think that's about it for the moment. I think this is still recording. I think I finally got this done. I've got no idea how long this podcast episode is going to be by the time I get there, but hey, it is what it is. And hopefully people are enjoying it. If not, they'll be able to skip forward when I get to editing it. Okay, cheers. That was actually a road train. G'day from not so sunny Noosa. It's a bit hard to get in the screen. I'm trying to, there we are, it might be a bit better, there we go. I am in Noosa. I had day one of my residential school today. I arrived here yesterday afternoon, probably around 3:30. Went to the uni campus, sort of did a recce as to where I'd have to be today, and was going to record, then we had a bit of drizzle come in, and I thought, so I thought I'd wait until after today. So I'm down here at Noosa Spit. I will do a recce, I'll do a shot around a bit later. But all I've really got to do is my other couple of segments. I am wearing my Elfie top today. One of the things we had to do as an icebreaker was bring along something that depicted us or meant something to us. And of course I brought along my knitting. I actually brought along this project, which I can show you now. This is my Typhoon shawl. Last time we spoke it was in timeout. It's now out of timeout, but I haven't had a lot of work on it. So I am, goes up this way. I'm thinking I've actually started this at the wrong end. I'm not sure now. Whatever I've done, I've done. But that's right, it's okay, it's right. So here we go. This is using the self-striping colourway, is from, it's in my bag here. It's from Stray Cat Knits. Stray Cat Socks. Not sure if we can see that. That might be back to front, I'm not sure, because I am recording with it facing me. So 75% superwash, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 400 metres, 437 yards. And the solid colour in between is from Leading Men Fibre Arts. It's called Concealed Elixir, and the self-striping is called Holy Moly. I don't think I'm going to get this finished by the end of the month, but that's okay. I sort of did a bit of my introduction. I was the second person to go because people were a bit nervous, and I said that I knit for mindfulness and to get in the moment, and that whilst I would love to knit during res school, I understand it would be off-putting for some people, and people tended to nod. So that was, I think, was a message that I shouldn't knit. But still, I'm going to do a bit this evening. I've got some study I do have to get done. My top has been exceptionally comfortable to wear. I was concerned it was a bit tight around the upper arm, but it seems to be sitting okay and it's not bothering me. Really love the top of it. As you can see, it has the thingo sleeves. Begins with a C, and it's not congruent. I'm thinking of all these medical terms I've been studying today. Anyway, that's what that is. The other project I brought, which I have out of, I suppose it was in hibernation, is my sock yarn blanket. I have finished my foundation row. So I'm not actually sure where it was when I last showed you. I think I'd done the big square there, but now it goes all the way along. No, that is actually the start. So it goes all the way along this way. And it's really nice and bright and colourful, and now I just have to go up. So that's what I'm planning on doing now. And it's, yeah, I really, really like it. I've got a bag full of odds and ends here, and I also have other scraps coming from the sock yarn sock mini skein swap group, which is now on Ravelry. It was on Facebook, now on Rav. I didn't bring acquisitions with me because I couldn't leave them at home. I mentioned when I was at Bendigo I'd pre-ordered a rainbow mini skein kit, and that has arrived from Jenna Yarns, and of course Dawn threw in a couple of stitch markers for me, which are really lovely. I'm sure you can see them there. And I got my mini skein kit. So this is, each skein contains 20 grams, 80 metres, and it has 8 colourways. So it's quite a bit of yardage there. I've got an idea of something that I'm mulling around in my head. Whether or not I go through with it, I'm not sure. Sort of, I suppose you could call it a design. And the other thing that I got thrown in as well that I ordered was a colourway I didn't pick up at Bendigo that I wanted, called Stopping All Stations, and that's a really good representation of it there. And this is on the 100% certified organic merino, DK weight, 225 metres per 100 grams. And I'm thinking it's going to become a cowl because I kind of like the bright pops of colour through the grey. So I think that's about it. This has been a long and disjointed episode because it started in Cairns and ended in Noosa. I'm not sure if I'll do the same on the way back. I know final res school is next Saturday, final day, and we've been told that it could go through till 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I'm not sure if I'm going to leave then and just get, say to Gympie, which is like an hour up the road, or what. I'll see how I feel, because they are pretty long and intense days. But I do need to show you the beach. So, from me, I'll say uru, cheers, bye, and show you the vista.